What's up, YouTube? This is your friend the neighborhood movie nerd, back to give you guys everything that is going on in the world of movies and TV. So the movie that I'm reviewing today is from a little known director named Martin McDonagh. He's an Irish playwright, and he's done 2 movies in the past decade that are arguably some of the funniest, most darkest movies you will ever hear of, and that would be In Bruges and 7 Psychopaths. So today, I am reviewing his next movie, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, which is his take on the rural state of Missouri in which a tragic accident happens and the events that follow. So this is my review for 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Spectacle of these billboards might be. This reporter, for one, hopes this finally puts an end to the strange saga of the 3 billboards outside.
This doesn't put an end to shit, you fucking retard. This is just a fucking start. Why don't you put that on your Good Morning Missouri fucking wake up broadcast, bitch?
So in this installment, Frances McDormand portrays Mildred Hayes, a woman on the warpath to solve the mystery of her daughter's brutal rape and murder a year before. She does this by renting out 3 billboards on the outskirts of the town and posting haranguing messages against the entire police department of the town, blaming and criticizing them for having made no arrests, particularly targeting Chief Bill Willoughby, played by Woody Harrelson. Pretty soon, however, her struggle to find vengeance for her daughters puts her in an entirely different struggle that starts putting the rest of the people in the town in jeopardy as well, so much so that the lines are soon blurred between finding justice and simply searching for vengeance against something that no longer exists. So just to clear a few things up, simply for the fact of Martin McDonagh's first 2 movies were comedies, primarily comedies, just super dark comedies. This movie, on the other hand, is a straight up drama. It does have some funny elements to it, but for the most part, this is definitely a very bleak look on humanity that will definitely leave you feeling like you left a piece of yourself in the theater. So the thing about McDonagh's characters is that whenever he writes characters, he specifically writes damaged people who typically haven't done anything good with their lives, but you still feel something for them, and he usually spins that in a comedic tone. But here what he does is he actually spins it in a way that basically takes a look at like regular people and just tries to make it as outlandish as possible, but in a way that really works. So the acting in this movie is beyond spectacular all around the board. The 3 standouts for me are Frances McDormand, Woody Harrelson, and Sam Rockwell, who plays another detective who is known for being extremely racist and bigoted, and all 3 of these guys gave absolutely spectacular performances. Sam Rockwell in particular is a guy who is given so much more depth than I could have possibly imagined, and the thing that also makes this performance particularly great is this is the type of a performance that he could very easily fall into cartoon territory, but he doesn't, and it's really tough for me because Rockwell, I thought, had already given the best performance of his career in 7 Psychopaths, McDonagh's last movie, but here he quite possibly tops that. I am really hoping he gets an Oscar nomination for this role. The other supporting players in this all turn out in great performances. Caleb Landry Jones, this is his 3rd movie that he's been in this year after Get Out and American Made, and it's really nice to see him playing an actual character here and not a complete cartoon. Lucas Hedges continuing his winning streak after Manchester by the Sea. He is amazing in this, and also, of course, I would be remiss if I did not mention Tyrion Lannister himself. Peter Dinklage pops up. He isn't in as many scenes as this as the trailers make him out to be. He's only in like about 2 or 3 scenes, but every one of them he is pitch perfect in. What's fascinating about Frances McDormand's struggle in this movie, though, is just the way that the trailers make it out to be versus what it turned out to actually be in the movie. Whereas in the trailer, it seems like she's on this mad quest for justice in order to wage war with a broken law system, when in reality, what actually happens is she's really just using her daughter's death as an excuse to just really blame everybody in town and just make trouble where there isn't, because really it's her character's only way of coping with the death, and it really ends up messing up a lot more of people's lives than she probably intended it to. And the problem is her character just doesn't care enough that it ends up doing a lot more damage and makes her a lot more unsympathetic than the trailers originally pitched. With all that being said, and as great as this movie is, there are a few problems that I have with it. At 2-hour runtime, this movie does drag a little bit in places. There are definitely a couple scenes that could have either been cut or just could have been shuffled around to make more sense. There's a couple editing scenes that don't really make sense in here, a couple cutaways that just feel completely jarring. Also, the score, it's really weird, the way the score works in this movie, because it picks up and tones down in places that make you feel like a scene is, because obviously it's meant to make the scene feel like it's ending, but the way that it's used, it almost makes like every single scene in this movie is the ending of this movie, which sucks because once this movie actually ends, it literally ends in a way that feels like a giant middle finger to the audience. Now, with all that being said, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri is without a doubt one of the darkest and funniest movies movies that I've seen this year. Some great performances, some once again fantastic writing. While this is, I would say, the weakest out of Martin McDonagh's 3 cinematic installments so far, it is by no means a bad movie. I'm giving this movie 8.5 out of 10 stars. So that's it. That is my review for 3 Billboards. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. Also, be sure to click that like button and that subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter at Movie Nerd Review. Also, head on over to my website, movienerdreviews.com. That is it. I will see you guys next time.